If you're looking for a small Class C, I don't know if it gets better than this one right here. Coming in under 20.5 foot is the Coleman 19EZ, and loving this thing is easy. It's easy to see why. We'll start right over here with the kitchen. You have ample space, and in an RV this size, you actually have a little bit of prep space right here, which is great. Plus, you get the drying rack, which kind of acts as the sink top cover, the recessed 2-burner cooktop with a glass cover, and over here you get the additional pop-up countertop. So you have a ton of countertop space in a Class C that, again, is under 20.5 foot. The high-rise faucet here also is pull-out to make washing dishes nice and easier. If you have a coffee pot over here, you can fill it up real easy too. And if we take a look over to this side, we can see all the controls, right? So you have an electrical outlet, again, for that coffee maker, whatever, controls for our lights, our awning, our cargo lights for outside, battery disconnect, and this one has auto gen start. So that's a great thing for a couple different reasons. Like, with our 12-volt fridge, the battery starts getting down, the generator can kick on, bring that back up. Or if it starts getting too hot, you want that generator to kick on so the AC can run, you can do that too. The rest of the controls will be located right up here on the cabinet. And as you can see, the water pump is on here, as well as the tank monitors, and you have your generator start right there as well. You also have some decent storage. I like that they did put a divider in here, so that way if you want to put plates, bowls, cups, maybe some spices, you can do that. Kind of like the frosted glass look here. You're going to have the microwave over to the side. This is a convection and air fryer microwave combo, so you get all that in one. You can, of course, see the hood here as well. And the light actually does a pretty decent job of lighting up that 2-burner cooktop. Now, when I drop down underneath, you can see that you have some storage here underneath the sink. So great for pots and pans. And then over to the side will be your 3 drawers. And it's something you may have noticed. You have soft closed drawers in here. This bottom one is going to be a little bit deeper than the other two. Again, it's providing even more storage. Now, probably the star of the show, though, is going to be right back here, and that is the large U-shaped dinette. Now, this table can come up, has a pedestal leg, so you can sit around it. But I just wanted to show you as well the versatility and how easy it is to make this up into a bed. I mean, you can pull that pedestal leg out, drop the table down, you drop these cushions down, and look at the size of the bed you get back here. This is pretty fantastic if you have like another couple that's going to be staying with you, or if you want this to be your bed and the kiddos can sleep in the cab over. Even though it's not a big Class C, it can still haul a whole family, which is awesome. There's also seat belts back here on both sides, so you can have legal riders. Cup holders back here too, windows all the way around. I'm telling you, this is probably my favorite place to hang out, whether you're, having a meal or playing a card game, putting a puzzle together. You can do it all right here. Storage up top too. In the back, you will see that you have actual doors, and that is going to be strut supported, so it's very easy to access. On the sides, we just have the nuts here. So again, it's nice and easy to grab anything that may be in there as well. You'll see that you have LED lights underneath, as well as some speakers. So anyone that's riding back here can listen to music. When you're at your campsite, you want to jam out, the music is exactly where you want it. And it's not going to be lacking on storage. You can see, or maybe you didn't, but there is going to be storage behind both sides here. I did want to point that out. So when you move the cushions, you can access that storage, and you'll also notice the table leg actually has a storage spot right back there too, which is pretty great. But again, you have more storage right over here. You have wardrobe space. So I love this. A lot of your Class C's, not a lot, most of your Class C floor plans will have this, but I'm shocked they did in something that was this small. I'm really glad that they were still able to fit a wardrobe in there. And again, you still have 2 drawers underneath. And as you can see, those are going to be soft close as well. As I mentioned earlier, the refrigerator, opens this way, is going to be 12 volt. And so I like that just because it runs off the battery. And again, with the auto gen start, if your battery starts to run down, generator will kick on, just charge that right back up. So that's never going to be an issue. You also see our furnace right down underneath. So in the event that, it's cold out, this furnace is direct vent, and it will do a great job in an RV this size, keeping things nice and warm. If you need to get things a little bit cooler, you do have the roof-mounted AC right up here. Now, in order to fit all of this in the RV, the bathroom had to be a little bit different. This one has what is called a wet bath. If you're not familiar with one, it's very, very common in like truck campers. Very, very common in Class Bs. Not super common in Class Cs, but I think this this works, right? In order to keep it nice and short and get all of this back here, this is what they did, and I'm here for it. So one of the things I want to say is when I step in, as for a shower, I can actually stand sideways and I have plenty of room. You have a curtain that goes around here so that water doesn't come through the doorway. But other than that, everything in here is meant to be wet. Okay, so your shower, when you're showering, yes, it's going to get on the toilet, it's going to get on the sink, but it will dry out. There's a vent right in here to aid in that. You also have a mirror so you're able to see as you're brushing your teeth or whatever else you're doing, a light in here. With this skylight, I mean, I'm 6 foot tall. I could be 6'5" and still be able to stand in here, which is pretty great. The toilet itself is a porcelain bowl, so it's nice and easy to keep clean. When I sit down, I have plenty of space. The toilet paper does have a cover on here, so that way, you know, your toilet paper is not getting wet. And again, I think this is just a great bathroom setup to have. And I think it works in this floor plan. Another thing I do want to point out, you can see it right out here, is the fact that this one has a tankless water heater. Now, I don't have propane on, so currently it's throwing an error code. But the cool thing about this is that means you have basically limitless and on-demand hot water. It'll heat up in like 10 seconds, and you can take a nice, long, hot shower. Now, because this is a Class C, you have the cab over right up here. One of the things I love about Freedom Elite, folks, is this has a 800-pound weight capacity. That is awesome. That means you can, easily sleep 2 adults up here if you want it for extra storage. You can, throw items up here. Make sure to space it out. You don't want, just a ton of weight in one spot. But you do get that large capacity, which is great. The ladder here, you can see that's a telescoping ladder. It's currently extended, but it does compact down a lot smaller. Then that will just attach to right here, so you can climb up into the bunk. There are some cup holders up there. TV on a swing arm mount so that you can swing that around, be able to watch it from the dinette if you want, or if someone is sleeping up here, they can easily watch that too. Now, as you're traveling, what most people do is they will lift this up, kind of slide it up on top of this one. Of course, that ladder would have to move, but that makes it easier to get down into the cab. Now, if you've seen one Ford E-Series chassis, you've probably seen them all. The one thing I do want to point out is going to be just on the dash here. This is touchscreen. And what I want to point out are these things right here. The fact this one is Sirius XM ready. It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Just remember, if you plan to use some kind of navigation like Google Maps or Apple Maps or something like that, please, please, please bear in mind that they don't understand that you're in an RV and you have a tall ceiling or a tall roof. And if there's a low-hanging bridge, there's a chance that you can hit it using one of those systems as navigation. So definitely, know how tall your RV is, know where the low bridges are. And if you want special GPS that has that information included, that is available. So just keep that in mind. A couple other things here. There are going to be USB ports to charge your devices, as well as a 110 right up here, which is something we don't often see. So if the passenger wants to do a little bit of work, they have the capability of plugging in right there. All right, let's take a look at the outside of this 20.5-foot beauty, the Coleman 19EZ. This one is built on the Ford E350 chassis, which houses a 7.3-liter V8, putting out 325 horsepower and 450 foot-pounds of torque. One of my favorite things about the Coleman Class Cs, though, is this right here, and that is the molded front cap. Why, you ask? Well, if you notice, the cap comes down, and then it comes all the way around, and then the seams are going to be on the side and the bottom here of the cab over. What a lot of other Class C brands will have is a seam running up and down on both sides. The problem with that is that as you're driving and it's raining, that driving rain is going to be going right into the seam. And eventually it's going to work its way in, and it's going to cause damage in the cab over. It's going to start to rot out. You're going to have problems. And that's why your grandparents' Class Cs always smelled awful. That is not the case here. This molded cap helps prevent that, greatly prevents the chance of water intrusion, and that is a huge feature for longevity of your Class C. Coming down a little bit further, we get into the power awning, and the thing I also like about this one is if you notice on the side, there aren't any vents. And what I mean by that is you don't have your furnace vent over here blowing hot air. You don't have your water heater over here blowing hot air. So you can put your camp chairs right up against this. You don't have to worry about them catching on fire. With your awning here, that just creates excellent camp space right outside your main RV, or right outside your RV, right in the main space that most campsites provide for that great camping experience. Getting into the RV is nice and simple. Obviously, you have your grab handle right there. Storage, a couple different storage options on this one. If we drop down, we can see that there are rotocast bins all the way throughout. Rotocast is great just because it's nice and easy to keep clean. You don't have to worry about that rusting out on you either. If you're going somewhere and you don't have water hookup, you will want to fill your fresh tank, and that will be located right here. And as we come back a little bit further, we can see electrical outlet and, again, more storage. Now, this storage actually goes all the way through around the back. You have some pass-through. There are lights in there as well. So if you're accessing it at night, it's easy to get to. And kind of like we had little ways up front, you can see that this one also has the rotocast bin. So I think that's going to be dirty, like if you're carrying wood, which, by the way, don't take wood across states, please. You can store, like, a couple pieces of wood in there. That does make it a little bit easier to clean up. Coming around to the back, you have a square tubular bumper here. Depending on your sewer hose, you may be able to store your sewer hose in there. But underneath, there's going to be a couple different things. The first one is the 8,000-pound rated hitch. This is great, folks. So you can see it has a 7-way connector there as well. So if you're planning on towing a travel trailer behind you, a boat behind you, or most likely a car vehicle behind you, this can handle all of that. That 8,000-pound hitch means that it kind of expands the different vehicle types you can have. So love that they have that. That's pretty rare. Most manufacturers have a 5,000. There's a few out there with 7,000. They are one of the few that are rated for 8. You'll also see the 4,000-watt generator there. That's a fantastic thing to have. Another great thing about Class C's, just makes them fully self-sufficient, right? And as I said when we were inside, that one does have the auto gen start so that this can kick on for a number of different things. If we take a look right up top, you can see the backup camera. Even though this isn't a huge RV, it's still a big moving wall. You still want to be able to see what's behind you, and that gives you the capability to do so. You also have ladder prep, so you can climb up onto the fully walkable roof, which I do recommend doing once or twice a year just for basic inspection, no matter what the RV is. And with this one, all you have to do is buy the ladder from Lippert. The ladder is it's very similar to what we had inside to climb on the bunk. It's just going to be a lot bigger, so it comes down further so you can get up on the roof. A couple of things over on this side. This is the other side of that pass-through storage that we saw. Right here is going to be a propane fill. Your fuel tank will be there. 30-amp potential power cord, cable inlet, city water inlet, black tank flush on this one as well, so you can nice and easily wash out the black tank. And then we talked about our exhaust. So here is going to be your furnace. Right next to that is your tankless water heater. And then our dump valves are actually going to be right up front. Now, as I said, this one is nice and small. If you're like, Ian, where can I get this and how much is it? Well, we will have a link for you in the description. Just click on that and it will let you know. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Baker. Until next time, we'll see ya.